It is finally that time. We are entering the end of the operation. It felt like a pretty long one, felt like it took forever to finish. There were so many things that happened. But now, let's say you have your investments or you're thinking about making your investment very soon. What are we going to do in the future with these items? Me personally, I have invested in the stickers and I have invested in the cases. I haven't bulk purchased anything, that's just what I got from my stars. I'm going to see what my options are when I make my big investment, which I have started doing. But as of right now, I haven't made any big investments into Broken Fang, and if I do, it's probably going to be into the operation skins. There's definitely potential with the cases, there's potential with the stickers, and there is potential with the operation skins. The only problem I see with the cases and the stickers is I feel like I missed my opportunity to buy. I will still profit if I buy right now, but I feel like I should have bought earlier, and because I wanted to make my big investments and I was looking at high tier items, I completely forgot about Broken Fang, and because I kind of missed that opportunity, I don't really feel like investing even though it may still be profitable in the near future. But moving past that, for what I own right now with the cases and the stickers, here's kind of how my roadmap is going to look, and this could change with prices, this could change with other announcements in the game. But as of right now, looking into the future, this is what I would predict. And I've gone through these a few times now, so if you have been watching my channel, some of this might be on repeat. But here's basically how I see the cases. What makes the Broken Fang case different from the Shattered Web case is it actually has good skins. The Containment Breach was a good op, nothing spectacular, but the M4A1 print stream right now is one of the best skins in the game. Now what this does for a case like this is it gives it some security, because the problem with the Shattered Web case is a lot of the hype was around the knives, and then the Fracture case came out and it completely destroyed the prices. The prices dipped almost instantly and the prices are still low because there's really no good reason to open the case. If you can just get the knives from the Fracture case, pretty much the only reason to open it is the Containment Breach, but really there's nothing exciting about that case. When looking at the Broken Fang case, we actually have options for skins, and a lot of these will be valuable in the future and they will be sought after. So number one of course would be the M4A1 print stream. The most exciting skin in this case, has very good potential, and could even be a decent investment. Stepping down to the other red, the less valuable red, it's a Glock Neo Noir, which isn't anything special, but people do like the skin, and people will buy the skin. People will want to open the case to get this skin. So this skin is also desirable, which is very good for the case. Moving on to the pinks, we have a USP monster mashup, which may be controversial, not everyone will like it, but it is for a USP, which is very common to buy a skin for, generally a fairly valuable gun, and that bodes well for its interest over time. It's not a pink Bison, it's not a pink UMP, it's a USP. This is a good skin to have as a pink rarity. And then the even better pink, which would be the M4A4 Cybersecurity, which a lot of people like. And I think this pink will do very well, and I think it will continue to rise in price even after the operation. I don't think people are going to get bored of this skin and it's just going to fade into obscurity. I do think it has some potential. I wouldn't invest in it, I wouldn't invest in any of these skins. By saying it rises in price, I'm just trying to say that there is demand for these items, and when the case gets more rare, people will still want these skins even if the prices increase. So when looking at this case, it is much more secure than the Shattered Web case. So if you want it to hold long term, you're not going to be completely trapped. But if it was me, I would sell before that point. What I would expect is about 2 months from now, we're probably going to get another set of knives in the next case. And then after that case, let's say about 6 months later, is when we would expect the case to come out with the Broken Fang glove finishes, the Gen 3 gloves. So even though I wouldn't expect a massive dip in price when the case does come out with these Broken Fang glove finishes, I don't think I'm going to hold up until that point, because I do feel like even though you will profit over time, and maybe a few months after that case comes out, the case reaches a new high in price, for those few months, you are pretty much operating at a loss compared to if you sold earlier. If you were able to sell your cases at an earlier point, maybe not the peak of the price, but at least somewhat close, before the dip happens at least, and you invest in something else. That will be much better for you. Sure, you can hold the case until it reaches $3, but how long is it going to take you to get there? If you were to take your money, sell the case before its dip, and invest in something else, you could reach that same period much earlier on. How I will expect it to go is I will sell my broken fang cases a few months from now, let's say maybe 5 months from now, maybe even 6 months from now, depending on the prices. All of this could change depending on the prices. And I'll sell these broken fang cases and I'll reinvest in something else. I think one of the large factors in the back of my head is just the quantity of this case. I think I will see decent returns within the next few months. I don't think it'll be anything amazing. But when that price eventually dips, there's going to be so many people rushing the market, there's going to be so many cases listed, and it's going to take forever for these cases to rise again afterwards. Now, forever could be a few months, but for me, I consider that long enough. I don't need to be holding these cases after a dip. I would rather get rid of them earlier on and find something else to invest in that could profit better for me. Basically, what I'm trying to say is even though this case has potential to maintain a fairly high price, even after a case comes out with the glove finishes, I will not be holding because I don't think the profit will be as high as what I could get with something else. And that is why I am planning to sell my cases 5 to 6 months from now. Moving on to the stickers, if you watched my previous video, I said all of the garbage stickers I would sell right away, and I still stand by that. I might keep the Battle Scarred non-hollows. I guess those have some potential. I might hold on to the few that I have and see what happens. But for all of the 10-cent, just garbage stickers, they're really not going to rise that much. I really don't see a purpose in having them. And because of that, I'm going to sell them for scraps and I'm going to reinvest in something else that can do much better. In regards to the real investments, mostly the Battle Scarred Hollow, what I'm going to do is wait about a year for those. I'm going to hold on to them longer than the Broken Fang cases because I do feel like there won't be enough time for these to rise in a 5-month period. There's going to be hype in the next 2 days here when the operation ends. Depending on how high those prices go, I could sell and reinvest in something else, or I could sell and reinvest in more Battle Scarred stickers. I'll have to see how that goes. We'll see how high the spike is. Ignoring the hype as a result of the operation ending, I see about a year as a pretty good time to hold this. When you're holding onto a sticker with really high quantity for years and years, it does get to a point where people lose interest in the item. My concern with the Battle Scarred Hollow is that there are millions of these stickers, and even though there's going to be a rise within the first few months or the first year of the operation, because people are expecting a rise and they are not going to sell until they get the profit that they want, when these stickers eventually reach a profit level that people are acceptable with, they will start selling, and selling, and selling, and selling, because there's millions of these. And that is my fear going into the long term for these items. The problem is these stickers are never going to be rare. If you're holding onto these stickers until the point where they become desirable items, where they're really hard to find, people are paying a premium for them, people are crafting these items and showing them off, you'll be staying here for 10 years. It's going to take forever. So I'm concerned about a bump in the road for these stickers. I think they're going to reach a certain profit level and then they're going to taper off a little bit. I don't think they're going to dip, I just think they're going to stagnate. Now I won't know entirely until we get to that point, until we see the prices, until we see the quantity, how many people are still buying these items months or years from now. But from what I can see, I'd say a year is a safe bet. I'm going to get my profit from these stickers, and I don't have to be worried about selling them. I don't have to be worried about the prices stagnating. They should still be slightly rising, or just reaching that stagnation point about a year from now. So I see 1 year being fairly safe. It gives it time to rise without any possibility of it being forgotten. There will still be people interested, buying, and crafting this sticker. From what I can see, I think 4, 5, 6, 7 months is a little bit short. I don't think you'll be able to maximize your profit off of this sticker, but I also think 2, 3, 4 years is too long, and you'll be holding and holding, waiting for a big spike, and it may never come because the quantity is too high. Now when looking at these skins, if an operation in the future reuses an old collection, that is your cue to sell, because that means that these operation collections could be reintroduced, and that would pretty much kill your entire investment. That would tank the prices massively. If that doesn't happen, and for the next few operations they keep adding new collections, I really don't know when to sell these operation skins, because you look at some of the old ones like Gods and Monsters, and these are reaching a rarity level where these prices are going up drastically, and they could eventually have a massive spike where they become one of the more expensive items in CS. It hasn't happened yet, it could happen. So when it comes to these skins, I feel like it's whenever you feel like selling. I think the only thing that should force you to sell is if another operation gets recycled. If that does happen, I would say you should sell and not risk it. Maybe wait a month or two for prices to recover, because there will be panic, there will be a lot of panic selling. But either way, you should be one of the people selling your items eventually. If that doesn't happen, I mean, up to you. I could see long-term profit with these being very good. I could also see short-term profit being pretty good with all of the trade-offs that need to happen. We saw it with the Shared Web collections, pretty good profit on those within a year and a half. So that's pretty much my thought process with Broken Fang. I see cases being sold within 5 to 6 months. I see myself selling the stickers in about a year, and if I go through with buying some of the skins, I don't know when I'm going to sell. It could be years from now, it could be months from now. I don't really know with those. I think there's potential both ways. So let me know if you guys thought about when you're going to sell, and if you disagree with anything I say in this video. As always, if you enjoyed the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll have a video up on Sunday.